Today, I wanted to go over a little bit more on overthinking and kind of like how overthinking can negatively affect us, and kind of just some examples that I've had with overthinking. So, if you're somebody who likes to analyze things out and kind of really get a good idea on what's happening and feels like you need to be in control of everything, I think that can be a great trait some of the time. Like sometimes it's important to be able to analyze your situation, get an understanding of your situation, get comfortable with your situation. And sometimes it can negatively like impact us and negatively affect us in a way that is not productive towards our success. And sometimes there's going to be things, at least for me specifically, there's things or times where I feel like I need to control this situation. I need to figure out like how this date went, right? I need to figure out how this person feels about the things that I'm doing or about the things that I'm saying, or I need to make sure that I'm getting these things done at work. And like, you know, if somebody makes a comment in regards to like, hey, like you could have done it differently, sometimes like self-criticism can make me feel like I'm not doing a good job. That person doesn't think like I'm like really like working as hard as I should be, like and we can kind of begin to feel negative, and we can kind of begin to spiral a little bit, or feel like what it is that we're doing is not productive, and we're not doing enough. And in reality, sometimes what might actually be happening is that we are doing enough and everything is completely fine, and that person either was making a suggestion, or that girl or guy really does like you, and you were just like, oh, there was this weird thing on the date, and like, you know, I thought everything was going well, and then they had this reaction and I feel like everything's bad. And it's like when we're getting to know new people, we're trying new experiences, whether it's work or whatever else, right, outside. And we're developing these new understandings of life in general. We're developing, we're growing, we're learning. There's going to be things that are uncommon, that feel uncommon to us. Again, whether it's a person's reaction, oh, that reaction seemed bad, oh, there must be some bad stuff happening, or oh, this person gave me criticism in this way, they must have not thought I did a good enough job, or if I did a good enough job they wouldn't have said anything, they should have just been happy with the work I did. However, people explain things differently, people react in different ways that maybe are not entirely common, and in a couple of weeks those reactions begin to feel like, oh, that's how that person acts when they give like a side eye, or they smile a little bit at the end of a sentence. Like, it's not so insulting. That's like how they maybe operate. And like, yes, to say that it's not fair to like, you know, like, sure, like you do understand how people can like operate, and like obviously if somebody gets angry or you sense frustration, I get that. But I think sometimes we overanalyze specific reactions to try and tell like a whole story. And I think it comes partially inside of us, right? Sometimes I think that we're so critical of ourselves, and we're so critical of the things that we do, that if we feel like something shouldn't go well, like, this job is too good for me, this person is too nice for me, this person is too good for me, this opportunity can't work out for me, I'm not capable of being able to do this. Number one, we have to have that self-belief, and we have to be confident in who we are. And you got to be confident in your abilities, not to say that you can't grow, but to say simply like, I am worthy of this opportunity, I am worthy of this person, I am worthy of these things, and I'm going to do my best to execute on the plan that I have, right? And if it's going out on a first date, for example, and the person that you're with is really good at communicating, and they're attractive to you, instead of trying to blow that up like, this person's too attractive, this person communicates too well, this person's way too put together for me, what can end up being a result of that is we can self-sabotage by overthinking things in a negative way, to tell a story that we are not worthy of this thing. And then basically we can kind of spiral when in reality, everything went good. I have another video coming out going over radical acceptance, which means in some cases, things are this way. You will not change the way that these things go. And you just have to learn to be comfortable in that position. And that position won't always be the best, and it won't always be the worst. And whatever it is, right? You get into a car accident, there's nothing you can do about it. The first date goes poorly. The first job, you jump into a position that you hate and it doesn't work out well. I think what we really have to think about here is the idea of when we are overthinking something, like, is it going to actually have an impact or a change on the actual outcome of a situation, right? So I don't think that by thinking things, like, we should just kind of go through life and like not know. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that I think certain things need to be thought out in a process that will allow you to be more comfortable with, I can't control this thing. I can't control how this person feels about me. I can't control how this job goes. And I'm going to do the best that I can. And I'm going to take criticism and I'm going to try and grow from opportunities and from lessons that I've learned in life. However, I'm not going to be able to necessarily make outcomes different by overthinking. So I'm not going to overthink about this and I have to just let it go. And I think when you can be logical with yourself and you can be transparent with yourself, you will have a much better outcome.